Hi, it's Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today we've got another look at a Sanrenmu knife. This time it's a nice sub 3-inch Tanto that I really rather like quite a bit. And I'm making this video now because I've sold this knife, and so I need to get this video recorded before I ship it off. It's a really nice knife. Kind of sad that I sold it, but I can always get another. This is the Sanrenmu 7071. It comes in 4 styles. This color scheme in 2 styles, and then a black and gray color scheme where the main color is black and the minor color is gray in the 2 same patterns that these ones have. I'll insert a picture right here. So you can see what those 4 knives look like, and they're all the same. Blade and everything. If you're interested in all at a sub 3-inch knife that has a really good grip, it feels really nice in the hand, then keep watching. And I'll move the camera to the tabletop position and we'll take a look at all the different specs and details and do some cutting tests with this knife. Let's begin with comparing the size. This is a 7010 that I have. A lot of people who have Sanrenmu knives are familiar with the 7010, and you can see the handle is very much the same size, but the blade is just slightly shorter. For those of you who are not familiar with a Sanrenmu knife, let me compare the size with a Ontario Rat 1. Let's do it the same orientation as the others. And you can see it's a lot bigger than the other knife. The Ontario Rat 1 is a big knife. Let's get something that's a little more comparable that you might be familiar with. The Spyderco Tenacious. And there's your comparison with that one. So yeah, obviously it's a small knife. So this is a small knife that fits the sub 3-inch laws if you live in a jurisdiction where you can't carry a knife larger than 3 inches in the blade. This knife certainly suits that requirement. It's a very nice Tanto that I like quite a lot myself. Yeah, I'm already very much regretting selling it, so I'm quite sure I'll be buying another one. Probably not right away, but sometime when I'm getting into a little bit more cash. So let's look at this. This is the 7071 LTF-GVK 1. The GVK, LTF-GVK is a different model. I showed you the pictures already. Let's keep moving. It's a Tanto blade made out of Sandvik steel. It's 12C27, which is a very good knife steel. It's not a super steel by any stretch of the imagination. It's better than most entry-level steels, but not by a huge degree. It's a good knife EDC steel. It is a stainless steel. It has good edge retention. It has good corrosion resistance, and it's fairly easy to sharpen. And all those 3 variables put together, it's not super in any one category, but it's not weak in any one category either. And they found a way to make a steel that is a good basic steel for knives. The thickness of this blade is 2.5 millimeters. That's 0.1 inches thick. The blade length is 2.5 inches plus just a tiny bit. It's right around 6.5 centimeters. When the knife is open, we've got about 6.25 inches. That's just shy of 16 centimeters. And when the knife is closed, we're around 2 5/8 inches, just a little over 9 centimeters. And those are the specs for how it is in the hand. I wear a large size glove, and you can see in my hand, the knife just fits. A little bit sticks out at the end there that you can see, and the rest is in my hand, and my thumb rests on some of that blade jimping, and there's a lot of power with that kind of hold. You know, sometimes I'll hold it a little bit further back this way if I need a little more reach, and that's comfortable as well. My pinky still has some grip. And, you know, that's good in either hand. It's good in just about any kind of orientation that you want to hold the knife and, you know, to make use of it. It's really good that way. The G10 here is just grippy enough to be, I'm talking about just the general surface, you know, that would be grippy enough the way it is. But they put this little stone sidewalk kind of pattern on here, a stonewalk pattern, I should say, and that adds quite a bit more traction to this knife. It's very comfortable in the hand while giving good traction. So there's a lot of good to say about this knife. I like this color scheme, this sort of tan kind of color. In this video, the colors are coming out pretty spot on, at least on the LCD screen that I see here. And so you see those colors, this sort of a deep grayish blue kind of gunsmoke kind of color on this tan. And, you know, it looks good, it feels good, it's comfortable, and it cuts well. It cuts well because this is a hollow grind along the main section of the blade. It's a very slight recurve right around the area that my finger is right here. It's flat, and then there's a tiny bit of a recurve right here. Not enough to make it difficult to sharpen at all. Any of your standard sharpening systems, you'll be able to sharpen it on a stone or with something like a Lansky where you clamp onto it. All the basic sharpening systems will work just fine for that. So we've got a hollow grind here, and then we've got a flat grind on the front. The hollow grind area has a, I wrote down the lengths of it here somewhere. Let me find it on my piece of paper. 4.6 centimeters. That's about 1 3/4 inches on this flat area. And then on the nose here, we got about 7/8 of an inch, and that's about 2.2 centimeters. So you've got a lot of different cutting area space. Is a Tanto that's done at a very good angle. It's, you know, a little bit, depending on which part of the angle you're looking at, it's not a 45, it's a little bit less than a 45 degree. If this is my main plane and I'm measuring down this way, it's, you know, roughly about 40 degrees. And it's nice and sharp from the factory. A nice sharpener's choil back here. This is an easy knife to maintain. Tantos can be a challenge. You just have to go slow and be careful, and you'd be able to maintain this corner here in a good degree of sharpness. As you can clearly see, this has a significant drop point with this false wedge. It's not sharp on this edge at all. And that helps make it look good, and it feels good in the hand. And, you know, I rather like it. The jimping here is not aggressive at all. So when you're holding it, there's enough jimping there for you to get some traction out of it, but certainly not enough to become a hot spot, even under for heavy use for a long time if you're cutting for quite a while. That jimping's not bad at all. And that's the only jimping anywhere on this knife at all. The handle is just over 1 centimeter thick. That's right around 0.4 inches. So it just fits into the thickest thickness that I like for a discreet carry knife. Any thicker than that, and I don't really like it in the bottom of my pocket. For discreet carry, what I mean is I take the pocket clips off and I just drop it in my pocket. If it gets any thicker than that, you start getting a bulge in the bottom of your pocket, and I don't really like that. But the pocket clip is very good. The pocket clip is very good functionally. It's got a good amount of traction to it. It's set in where it's screwed on. So, you know, I wish they would have had these screws be ones that would sit inside a little bit, so they'd go a little bit deeper. That being said, it still gives enough room for your pants pocket to go right to the outer edge, and then you've just got like an eighth of an inch sticking out of your pocket. So that's not much at all to look at. So it's hidden quite well in one's pocket. It's a nice light skeletonized pocket clip. It's thick enough to have, you know, a good springy retention, and the G10 is just enough here to have a great retention in your pocket. They did a super job on this pocket clip, except for they didn't give you the options to put it anywhere else. Let's see how well this thing cuts before it gets put in the mail. Let's try a couple layers of paracord. Slides through that, no problem at all. And it cuts paracord, you know, on the nose of the knife really well. And sliding through is not a problem either. It's a good knife. A little bit of banding to try. This is inch wide molly type banding, and it cuts through that no problem as well. And I'm going to try to cut it with this point of the Tanto. Cuts through that very easily. I wonder how well it cuts this way. Did that no problem as well. This is a good knife. It feels good. There is absolutely no way that anybody's going to measure this at more than 3 inches, even if they want to measure at the most extreme length possible. It still comes out at just shy of right around 2 7/8. And so this will pass any test that even the most aggressive officer would ever be able to carry against someone carrying a knife. So there you have it.